Don't forget to hit record. There you go. And welcome to another edition of Steady Dropping Dimes. A little bit of a tape delay this week, right? Got a little bit of a doctor's appointment, some things to do. But we wanted to bring you the show consistent. We wanted to bring it to you at the same time. I want to start out the show offering my sincere thanks, offering my show of appreciation to my man, Josh Newkirk, for filling in for me last week. My brothers, Devin Gardner and Daniel Horton, my man behind the scenes, Ben Krasner, they all held it down for me last week. Very, very tough time, still tough times, but sudden loss of my brother last week. So all of the crew for holding me up, and then all of the well wishes from you, the people out there. I want to do that on every single show because you go through something like this, every single prayer, every single well wish helps pick you up. So I want to show my appreciation to all of you. With that, though, welcome to another edition of Steady Dropping Dimes, brought to you by Underground Printing, in Ann Arbor original since 2001. This is where it goes down when it comes to getting your amazing blue gear. It's Underground Printing. We saw the stripe out was accomplished. I know a lot of people went to get their amazing blue gear from Underground Printing. UGP has 3 locations, brick and mortar, right here in Ann Arbor. But you go to undergroundshirts.com and you can order your gear and have it sent to you. And when you go to the site or you go to the brick and mortar store, guess what? And we're going to show you a little bit later on in the show some new offerings. The turnover buffs are now available at UGP. So we're not the only ones, fellas, that hang around with the Underground anymore. Will Johnson hangs around with the Underground. The buffs are at Underground Printing. And not just that.
I guess I can go get me some from Underground Printing so Sam will stop wearing mine.
Man, you know what? I got your buffs here.
Sam been wearing my turnover buff pack for years almost.
I have not opened your gift. It's still wrapped up. It's got the bow on it and everything. I mean, yours too, Daniel. I got them both. They right here. It's got a beautiful bow.
You wearing it on the weekends, Daniel. Don't believe it.
Anyway, you all can get your turnover buffs from Underground Printing. Go to undergroundshirts.com or go to any of their locations. We will give you more information a little bit later on in the show. But not only that, the guy who lines up behind center right now, wears number 10. You can get his jersey tee exclusively. I'm talking about Alex Orji. You can get his jersey tee exclusively at Underground Printing. So he hangs around with the Underground too. See, and now everybody's hanging around with the Underground, fellas. It's like an epidemic. Everybody wants to hang around with the Underground now. That Steady Dropping Dimes is hanging around with the Underground. Because it's the thing to do.
We are a bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Trendsetters. It just is like that sometimes. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Absolutely. So, fellas, we spent much of the week already breaking down Michigan's game against Minnesota. That's in the books. Now they head out to Seattle to take on Washington, a different Washington team than the one they saw in the national championship game. Kalen DeBoer is gone. That Joe Moore award-winning line, all those guys are gone. All those receivers that they had are gone. It is a different team. Now, the venue is the same. I was out there in 2001 when Michigan lost in the last second. I think it was a field goal block. Wasn't it a field goal block? I tried to block it out of my memory. Ben, I think it was a field goal block at the end. Man, crazy. But it can be a raucous environment, and this crowd is looking forward to this game. Jed Fish is looking forward to this game, a chance to really make his mark, to plant his flag for his program to get a signature win against a Michigan team, and a quarterback making his third start. So big opportunity for him, but a big opportunity for Michigan in a game, Devin, where they're going to see a defense where maybe Alex Orji can take another step in his progression.
Yeah, I think so. Just because the way that Washington plays defense is usually fairly clear what they're trying to do to you, right? It's fairly clear what coverage they're playing. If it's going to be man, if it's going to be zone, they don't do a whole bunch of disguising. And to be honest, they don't do any disguising. Honestly, the one thing I don't say they do a whole bunch of it, because I'm sure they have it somewhat in their plan. And I talked to a Monday morning quarterback that, for me, if I was a defensive coordinator, I would risk being out of place some to disguise, just because you're playing against a young quarterback that hasn't seen a bunch. And if he studies film, he'll see, oh, they line up in it, right? Whatever they're going to be in, they line up in it. So you throw them a little bit of a curveball to get them hesitant in the game. I think that'd be good for them. So they have been very generic and straightforward, but I expect that they'll probably throw in some wrinkles going into Saturday's game, and that's kind of scary for me. And the other thing that's more scary, I think the offense will be relatively fine. They're going to have to protect. They're going to have to block the guys up front, because they do have some extravagant blitzes. That's not necessarily on Orji. That's going to be on the offensive line to handle. But the quarterback scares me versus our defense. He is accurate. He is poised, similar to Miller Moss, right? And the one thing that we did, we got after Miller Moss really, really well. And I'm wondering, can we do the same? Just because, a road game is a little different than being at home, right? It could be raining. Washington is always raining, it seemed like, and just more distractions. So will guys be as locked in? Not to mention, I'm sure that when you play at USC and you play at Washington, Washington just doesn't have the mystique of USC. And as much as you get up for every game, USC is different. Everybody in the country was talking about USC as that dude, right? As a program. Nobody's talking about Washington like that. So do you get up for it the same way? And if you don't, you allow this quarterback to get hot. He's got the fourth highest completion percentage in the country. And I saw it live, and it's real. He's a good player. He throws the ball like he went from air raid to pro style, and his transition has been marvelous. Jed Fish deserves a lot of credit, and Coach Carroll, Pete Carroll's son, who's the offensive coordinator, he looks like a totally different quarterback. The quarterback a year ago, where everybody thought they would get interceptions from him, he would throw you a couple a game. He hasn't done it. He hasn't thrown an interception to this point in the game. He hasn't even thrown any that are close. I mean, he is accurate, on point, and really transitioned himself from an air raid quarterback to a West Coast drop back, play action, pro style type of quarterback. So this will be the first time they see that type of player with good players around him.
So Devin, you called the game against Rutgers last week. These dudes put up 520 something yards. Jed Fish's offense was clicking.
And Rutgers defense is good.
They must have, and they 500 yards against Rutgers defense. They must have scored 40 plus points, right?
No, they did not.
They didn't score 40 points. What happened, Devin?
They were as undisciplined in the wrong spots as I've seen from a team. I've never seen a team dominate a game so much up and down the field, into the red zone. Missed field goals, a bunch of missed field goals. I'm talking about chip shots, like not even close. And then opportunities on defense when they're stopping them, where, say Rutgers gets a 15-yard play, then somehow it's always a 15-yard penalty on top of it. It seemed like it happened every single time. And like you said, on offense, man, they were moving the football through the air. Their running back is nice. It shows me shades of Blake Corum. Their running back is really nice, Coleman, and he's got kind of a chip on his shoulder. Every team he plays against that has a good running back, he wants to show up, right? And he showed up last week. his kicker kind of held him back and he couldn't get the win. But it was not because of the running back and the quarterback. Both those guys were exceptional. The receivers played well, but they just could not get out of their own way as far as discipline, pre-snap penalties, and missing field goals. So I expect at home, and they were on the road, so I expect at home in their second opportunity or second opportunity in the Big Ten that they will be a lot more poised. I'm sure Jetfish ripped their faces off in practice and showed them everything that they did to lose the game. Not necessarily what Rutgers did, even though Rutgers did a good job. They had a good plan. They had a really good running back. It was more of what Washington did to themselves to lose the game. So I expect that they come in this game motivated with a chance to not only avenge the game from last year in the national championship, but also put their stamp kind of on the Big Ten.
Yeah, man. So look, I see it as an opportunity. You did a great job of breaking down progress. It wasn't perfection, far from perfection, for the entire offense, but you saw signs, and Borges did as well, where made some plays over the middle of the field. You talked about hitting the backside dig on the fourth progression, right? That was a play. There was another play where Borges picked out where he stood in the pocket and delivered on the third down and got hit, took a hit and delivered on the third down. Even on the interception, Borges said, hey, he had good technique and then it broke down. So he got pressure and he said he had a perfect front out. He said, so his technique as he got pressure, so you got Colston Loveland running down the field. That's the guy, to your point, as you pointed out, Devin, that's the guy on the play.
You're not turning down open guys.
He's not turning down open guys. And so it wasn't that he saw it late. He can't get to it right now because he's getting pressure. So he fronts out, and now he wants to get to it, but now there's another guy coming. There's another guy coming now, but the guy is like 2.5, 3 yards away. He has time to make a good throw. This is where DG, I've seen Devin Gardner have contact courage. I've seen it.
Way too much.
Right?
Far too often than I should have.
I've seen Devin Gardner have that contact courage. Now, I don't know. He might not have gotten hit, right? But he had time to make a better throw. Or possibly find Donovan on the wheel at that point, which is what he said he should have done. And so this is where, in a game like this, is that a play that he could make? Because so you saw technique to a point. Can he get that next step? I don't know if he gets that step, Devin. One step I feel more confident in him making was the play that I talked to you about on Monday Morning Quarterback. And that was his third down scramble on the first drive, where he pulls it third and long. He pulls it down. He got 4 verts. He pulls it down, which is what I'm sure he was coached to do. Go get that first down. And he gets it. He gets it plus some. He must have got like 13, 14 yards.
But as
soon as he pulls it down, the defense comes up and he got Colston running wide open down the field. I'm thinking, Devin, he sees that this time. I'm thinking he's gonna flick that ball down the field.
Yeah, and it's kind of an art, man. Being able to move around, stay fast, stay committed to going to get that first down, but also having the poise and the kind of technique to be able to get the ball down the field if the opportunity presents itself. And it's just like everything else we're talking about. It takes reps, man. This kid hasn't played football in like 6 years. Like, how long has it been, Sam? Is it
like this? You mean like starting reps?
Like playing football. I'm not talking about spot duty. I'm not coming in. I'm not talking about practice. I'm not talking about every once in a while I come in and do whatever I'm gonna do. I'm not talking about that. He hasn't played full football games and played as a quarterback in roughly 6 years, right? 5 years, something like that. It takes time, and obviously people are beside themselves and saying there's no improvement from week 1 to week 2. And if they're doing that, that means they don't trust, the show. And I don't like that. I don't like that, right? They don't trust our show and you and Borges. But I'm here to tell you, man, there has been improvement Now, how much improvement? Now, people want him to be Matt Leinart, right? And that's just not going to happen. They want him to be Tim Tebow, and that's not just going to happen overnight. However, I think he is taking steps, and the one that they're really, really now, the one that they really want him to be is Jalen Milroe because of the way he's playing. Remember, Jalen Milroe wasn't Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe got benched, right? Jalen Milroe wasn't who he is. The reason he got to who he is because, one, he's a hard worker, got a great head on his shoulders. But two, he was given the opportunity, right? He's given the opportunity. And now Alex Orji has that opportunity, and what he does with it will be up to him. But you're not going to get that kind of finished product of Jalen Milroe right now when it's only his third start. It's just not going to happen.
Well, how about this? Daniel?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let the man be. Don't give him an opportunity. Let's say don't give him an opportunity to be Jalen Milroe. How about you give him an opportunity to be Cade McNamara? Give him an opportunity. What do I mean by that?
Please explain.
Well, back in 2021, Michigan played Washington. They played Washington in week, what was it? Week
3 or 2 or something like that. Yeah, I remember. I was at that game, night game.
Yeah, it was week 2.
Like 43 yards passing or something like that.
Second start. It was his second start that season. It wasn't his second start overall, but it was, so that's roughly what his fourth start, I think. But his second start that season, he went 7 for 15 for 44 yards in that game. 7 for 15 for 44 yards. They won the game. Now, a couple of games,
they won it convincingly.
Yeah,
right.
They did.
A couple of games later, they barely beat Rutgers. Remember, they barely beat Rutgers 20-13.
Yeah.
And there was a horrible. He took a big hit in the end of the first half. Had a horrible second half. They couldn't throw the football in the second half. Right. And people like, what are we going to do? What's going to happen? What are we going to do? And he got better. Wasn't perfect, but got good enough for them to beat Ohio State. Now, I'm not saying that the same thing is going to happen, but he had the opportunity to improve. This was this man's second start. Let's see what he can do in his third start, in his fourth start, like Cade McNamara had back in 2021.
I think with that's a great point, Sam. Looking at the statistics and seeing how that situation played out, that's a great observation. I think the one difference is I don't think anyone, including Michigan's opponent, saw the run game coming. Because that was the first year of the 3-year stretch, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think anyone saw the offensive line and the run game being that good, which aided Cade McNamara's development, gave him time to develop, right? Because the run game was so dominant and the defense was so dominant. Right? I think now the defense is still really good, maybe not as good. We don't have a Hutch or a Job or those guys, right? I think the defense is still really good, but I think everyone sees the run game coming, right? It's been 3 years of this is the 4th year basically of Michigan. We're going to play smash mouth football. So I think they have to be a little better in the run game now in order for that situation to play out similar to Cade's situation. They have to become a little better on the offensive line and in the run game, which that's been happening over the last couple of weeks. So
yeah. So look, I'm not. It's certainly not an apples for apples comparison. They're different quarterbacks,
right.
Different athletes. I'm more talking about the tolerance.
Yeah,
I'm more talking about the patience of the people. I'm sort of telling people to take a moment of reflection of what were you saying back then. Were you giving up on the season back? What if you had given up on the season back in 2021 after 2 weeks and thrown in the towel?
Hey man, I don't know how much a competitor you are. If you, as a Michigan fan, as a person as a whole, if you've given up on the season 4 games into it, we're 3-1. That's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? For me, I look, hey man, I don't care as a fan. I don't care. I want it to look good. I want it to be, because I'm interested in recruiting as well, right? But at the end of the day, from week to week, it's about getting W's. And so far, they've done that every week except for one. So, however it looks as a fan, I really don't care. I just want us to win.
That's me. And I said in the post game, because they were talking about, I think it was after the USC game, we were talking about Style, how many yards he threw for. I said, man, y'all up here complaining about Beyonce wearing bloomers. Like, who does that? Who does that?
I mean, honestly, he more than doubled his output. So if you keep doubling it, you know what I mean? Right. So say this week you go 160, and then the next week you double that. I mean, if you keep doing it at this rate, he's going to be exactly who we want him to be. He doubled his output from a week ago. From the previous week.
I ain't sitting here. So to be clear, I'm not sitting here telling you there aren't concerns. Like, so to your point, Daniel, you said, look, the run game has to be better. I told Devin this the other day. Like, I think there's still an adjustment being made to how to use him.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I completely know the answer. I've never called plays. But I do, from an armchair perspective, think, man, you got to run this. Like, you got to call run plays for him. I think 5 or 6 run plays per game where you running the ball, Alex. Like, I think that's part of making the run game be what you talking about. Like, it was great versus USC. I think design QB runs were a part of that. It wasn't as good versus Minnesota. I think no design QB runs were a part of that.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So, hopefully that's back on the table. But Borges made a point. Devin, he said, I also think that's a part of help getting him into more of a flow, more of a rhythm of the game, giving him.
He looks like the kid. Got to get hit. Got to get hit to get in the mix, right? I mean, a lot of people are like that. Like, I always wanted a nice Q run call just to get my feet wet, right? Let me get into the game. You know what I mean? And it settles you down, right? When you can make a nice run and you get tackled. The one thing that he just has to do is continue to protect himself, right? Find ways to get down when there's nothing left. Now, if it's third down, and that's not the time for it. You will get the first down.
Hey, by the way, I got a message to pass on to you from Vance.
Oh gosh, here we go.
What?
You always got some garbage going. I don't know. You can't be trusted. What you got?
I mean, why I gotta be like that, Devin?
What you got?
Why you always suspicious, man?
I'm a suspicious brother.
You should be suspicious, man. You know, man, I got so much love for my brother Devin. Like,
anytime he start off with something like that,
I got so much love for my brother. Every time people talk about why you talk about Devin like that, I say, man, you see these jerseys I got hanging out, not right now, but if I got a man's jersey hanging up on my wall, you know how much respect I have for that man. And I had that man's jersey hanging up before we were doing shows. Am I right? Before you even came, before we were doing Droppin' Dimes or anything, or Monday Morning Quarterback, anything, that jersey was hanging on my wall.
Back when I wasn't hot enough, good enough yet. So he like, man, I ain't doing no shows with this dude. But he did have a jersey.
It was on my wall.
But he had the
jersey was on my wall. So, but anyway.
Hey, Dane, he said he ain't hot enough yet. I can't have him, cramping my style on my show,
Hey, I feel like this is set up. People say stuff with
he set me up for sure. I don't know what he got. He got something cooking. He's saying too much good stuff in a row.
I love my brother. Hey, man, I'm so proud of him. I wasn't even knocking that Flint style suit he had on. I was like, hey, man, it looked like Sam Webb back in 1993, but cool.
Man, your suit would have never been tailored like that.
Oh my god!
Hey, man, I showed up to a deal in Traverse City with a teal suit and teal gators on. They was like, where this dude come from? It's crazy.
Straight out of Flint.
Yeah, straight out of Flint, man. Straight out of Flint. Anyway, so Vance Bedford, outstanding defensive mind, former defensive coordinator at Louisville, former defensive coordinator at Oklahoma State, former defensive coordinator at Texas, DB coach at Florida, for the Chicago Bears, for Michigan, Charles Woodson's DB coach. He heard Devin Gardner say that defensive players are inherently dumb.
Not very smart. I said inherently not very smart, by the way.
Oh, inherently not very smart?
Yeah. Yes. Don't make it's words matter, man. Those are my exact words. They're inherently not very smart.
Inherently not very smart. This is okay.
Tomato.
It's the same thing. Same, not very smart.
Nope, not the same.
Not very smart. You just softened it up. He interpreted it as so we're inherently. So you saying not just I'm not smart. You saying My dad's not smart. My granddad's not. You saying heredity? You saying it's in my genes? I'm not smart. Oh, you saying
as decision makers in football? Yes.
You saying I got this by blood, by birth. I'm not smart. Oh, it's like
my daddy played defense. My granddad. They were all defensive players. I don't know.
He said, I get it.
Long line of safeties.
He said
long line of safeties and defensive ends.
He said that's why they made him play wide receiver, because he wasn't smart enough to play quarterback first. Is that how it is for Devin Gardner? That's why he had to play wide receiver first.
See, Vance got to do his research. Devin walked in there because Devin is smart. Devin said, Denard Robinson just won a silver football. I'm not playing quarterback. So Devin actually walked in and said, hey, Roy Rountree hurt. Let me get a little shot at this wide receiver. And I'm so smart that I was able to pick all that up in 1 year and never caught a pass in my life. That's how smart I was. And then hold on. And then after playing receiver all year, in 1 week, went on the road and got busy on Minnesota. That's how smart us offensive players are, Vance. When you can't even move a nickel to the corner on defense, like, he a nickel. He can't play corner today. Oh, no. See, man, come on, man. Come on. Don't play with me, Vance. Come on, man. Hey, don't play. You got to do your research before you come, and then you got to be here so you can defend yourself. Now you can't defend yourself. And I'm out here looking like a genius. Like, dang, how did he do that in 1 week, become a quarterback after he been playing wide receiver? Oh, he also got busy at wide receiver. It's crazy. But defensive players, oh, man, we can't have – Charles Woodson couldn't move to safety until he was a super vet. But Charles Woodson is a guy who could play offense. Right? Charles Woodson is a guy that's smart, so he could play offense, but he saw an opportunity on defense to dominate.
You see how he cleaned that up real quick?
Definitely cleaned that up.
Everybody knows Charles Woodson's smart. Charles Woodson won the Heisman as a defensive player because he was smart. Why do you think no defensive players win the Heisman? Because they ain't smart. They're inherently not very smart, except Charles Woodson, obviously.
Hey.
I digress. Vance will have a comeback. He will have a retort. He will have
Sam, I gotta talk to my dad later today, man. He was a Division I safety. Let me call him. Hey, man, hey, Dad, I heard y'all done.
And so by Vance's logic, he's talking about you too, Daniel, because you were born. You're the son of a defensive player. Yeah. So he's talking about you too.
Hey, see, Daniel's super smart. Daniel said, I ain't even messing with this football stuff. I'm about to dribble this rock. See, it don't, you know what I mean? It's just different. You know, you don't have to remain inherently not very smart. You choose that. You choose that as you grow up. Like, what you gonna do? Are you gonna keep this thing going, or are you gonna choose to be smart?
I was a quarterback and a cornerback, and then one day I was just like, you know what?
This is stupid.
I'm going to play basketball. I think my freshman year of high school. My freshman year of high school, I was like, yeah, I got like 2 Division I offers in basketball already. I'm out of here.
I'm sick of running and tackling other humans. I'm starting off behind. This is stupid. Stupid.
Oh yeah, that first month of basketball after the football season is rough.
I know what Vance is gonna say. Vance is gonna say, well, not smart defense to come and set the tone on Saturday against Washington. You need us to hit this smart quarterback, this smart offensive staff over here. You need us to hit them in the mouth we did that smart quarterback Miller Moss and that smart head coach Lincoln Riley. We busted them up. You're gonna need Michigan's defensive line.
That's what you want. That's what you want. You definitely got to. And obviously, as everybody knows, our strength is inside, right? So I think they're going to be able to make Washington one-dimensional, right? Completely take away the run game, and now they have to pass, and you know they are. So it's a little different, right? They've been able to play with great balance for the most part to this point in the season. Their running back has been outstanding, and obviously the quarterback has done what he's done. When you can make them one-dimensional, now – it's just science. Like, you're not that successful when everybody knows what you're doing, right? That's why these air raid systems, they don't win championships. They just don't, because you're throwing the ball too much, right? You got to be able to run the ball. Now, the air raid where they start to incorporate more of a run game, those have had more success, but still hasn't been able to win a championship, right? You have to have some resemblance of balance. And remember, Sam, we talked about it. Balance isn't 50-50, right? if you're a running team, it's 30, it's 70 for the run, maybe 30 in the pass. If you're a passing team, maybe 70 in the pass. The numbers may be, all over the place, but it doesn't have to be 50-50, and Washington's done a good job of it. That's why they put so much offense on the field. It's hard to stop them because you kind of don't know what to stop. And I think that the quarterback's going to get some completions, right? He's going to play well, but you take the running back completely away, make him one-dimensional, and I think you got a real shot.
Absolutely. All right, we shall see how it goes. It'll be aided greatly by getting zero back Josiah Stewart, who wreaked havoc, absolute havoc against USC. And then number 2, turnover buffs himself, getting him back in the mix. I think he's the best player in college football. Some people say Travis Hunter. He's gonna get more accolades because he plays offense too. He's a beast. I give him credit. I think Will Johnson is that guy. Speaking of Will Johnson, before we transition to another topic, let me let you know about our friends at Underground Printing, the presenting sponsor for Steady Droppin' Dimes. Not only is Underground Printing the presenting sponsor for Steady Droppin' Dimes, you also can find now exclusively over at Underground Printing the jersey tee for Michigan starting quarterback Alex Orji and turnover buffs. Will Johnson's turnover buffs you can find at Underground Printing. Now, as my friend Ben, our producer Ben, knows, he puts it up on the screen every time. There are 3 locations in Ann Arbor for Underground Printing, brick and mortar stop. So whenever you're in town and you're looking for your amazing blue gear, your Michigan branded apparel, you need to go to Underground Printing. Okay, there's, people are looking for places to go now that, you've seen, long time staples as far as Michigan apparel go by the wayside. Where should you go? What should your new go-to be? Very simple, very easy. Underground Printing. They have 3 locations right here in Ann Arbor for you to check out. If you're ever in doubt for where to go, you can always go to their website, undergroundshirts.com. But if you're looking for their locations, we'll put up the map. They have a location on South Main, a location downtown, and a location on South U. But it is always easy to go to undergroundshirts.com. And then, Ben, if you can put up the picture of the Alex Orji jersey tee, the number 10 exclusive. You know how we've been telling you that the Michigan season tee is available exclusively at Underground Printing? Well, the Alex Orji official player jersey t-shirt is available exclusively at Underground Printing. Can't get it anywhere else. So you want to rock the Orge, as they say, you got to get it at Underground. Now let me see the turnover buffs. Ben, let me see the turnover buffs.
Yeah, let me see them too, because that's the only way I seem like I'm going to see them is on here.
That is not the only way you can get the turnover. I got your buffs. I got yours. I got yours, Devin. See, now, I don't even have the Maze tinted lenses. I don't even have those. But you know where you can get them? You can get them at Underground Printing. So I got the blue tinted lenses, but you got the Maze tinted lenses. And put that other picture up on the screen for us real quick, Ben. The one that had and see that the one at the top, it sort of had like a blue and then it tints down the Maze. So again, you have different options for the turnover buffs. Go to undergroundshirts.com or go to their locations downtown, South U, right here in Ann Arbor, or Main Street, and check out all of the offerings for Underground Printing. Again, South Main, downtown, South U, those are the brick and mortar locations, or undergroundshirts.com. Get your Michigan branded apparel, and more specifically, you can get your Alex Orji jersey tee or your turnover buffs. So every time Michigan gets one of those turnovers, or when Will gets another pick six, because that seems like that's what he does, right? Is get pick sixes.
And he's gonna get opportunities. They pass that rock.
Get it at the underground.
Giles Jackson.
We hang around at the underground. Will Johnson hangs around at the underground. Now Alex Orji hangs around at the underground. You need to hang around at the underground as well. Undergroundshirts.com. Be sure to check them out. And Devin, I got your buffs, man. I got yours too, Daniel.
Yeah, that's up for debate.
I do. That. I got you guys.
Sounds like propaganda to me, but
it's not propaganda. I got you guys. I got your gear.
That T-shirt too.
So that I don't have. So we'll see what
that turnover department shirt, sweet.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, underground printing. Let's make that happen.
We'll see what we get. Oh, by the way, here's from what I understand, before we get off of talking about underground printing, I said, we all hang around with the underground, and Will does now, and with the turnover buffs, and obviously Alex does as well. Well, keep an eye out for more ways you can support Michigan student athletes through official NIL apparel at Underground Printing, because there's some other things in the works related to other players and their NIL opportunities. So Underground is very proactive in connecting with the players, and when it comes to their gear and giving them a platform to put their gear out, they're working with them to do that. So obviously doing that with Will, doing it with Alex. Sounds like there's more on the horizon, and as that comes to the fore, we're going to bring it to you here on Droppin' Dimes so you can support them, the players, through Underground Printing. See? So remember I told you love who loves you, that they're one of us? This is what I'm talking about. They're making it a point to, hey, players, you want to put your stuff out, we're going to help you put your stuff out. Case in point, Underground Printing, undergroundshirts.com. All right, fellas. Listen, did you hear? So one of the biggest Michigan fans out there, I believe he's an alum too. Is Dave Portnoy an alum as well? I'm trying to look at you in the back room. Look that up for me. Look. We know he loves Michigan. We know Dave Portnoy loves Michigan. All right, that much is clear, because he'll give it to the NCAA. He'll give it to the Buckeyes. I love it when he gives anybody who gives it to the Buckeyes. I'm got love for that. So he's looking at the quarterback situation, and he said, "Hey, I got some bread." He didn't just say I got 5. He said I got $3 million on it. $3 million per year. I put $3 million per year on a quarterback. Just tell me who you want. Tell me, just come say who it is. I got $3 million on it. So, Devin, you shaking your head. Now,
I'm about to shave my facial hair and get in shape.
Hey, man. I mean, it's a new world out there. Here, the fact of the matter is, he actually doesn't need permission.
You don't.
He could do what he don't need to ask Michigan to do that.
Nope.
He could go out there and say, if he wants to spend $3 million on a quarterback, for that quarterback to go to Michigan, he could go spend $3 million on a quarterback. Now,
I know Michigan better have contact to him. I know that. They better, hey, this is what we want, this is what we need, this is go get him.
Right. Now, for it to make sense, he needs to know that this is the quarterback that Michigan really wants. And if he has
not only that they want, this is the quarterback that's going to win the championship, because I'm not paying $3 million just to compete. No, we want who y'all think is the guy that's going to get us over the hump. And that's who we're going to get. Not, I like this kid's personality. He seems like, no, this needs to be a home run hitter if I'm giving out $3 million.
This is the guy. Right. So
Nico Iamaleava level.
Right. But see, my point is, if there's a guy that he likes, that he is looking at Michigan, and they got let's say they got a board and they got 3 quarterbacks, and they like all the quarterbacks on the board, and they got them ranked 1, 2, 3, and they're all highly rated guys, but he likes number 3 better than number 1. He don't have to go pay number 1.
It's probably gonna be $2 million. He probably
can go pay number 3 if he wants to. My point.
He said 1 to 3, so it might go down to 2 if it's the one he don't like.
My point is he don't have to be beholden to what anybody say. He can spend his money on. That's how.
However you want.
That's how this landscape. Kind of works. At the same time, it's more likely the case that there would be some information, some intel shared that says, "Hey, this is who we like. If you are so inclined, help us out with this dude." Now, here's the slippery slope. Let's say that he pays the $3 million per year for. Then say he has relationships with a bunch of guys. Let's say he has 4 or 5 guys on the roster, right? And he pays $3 million for Devin. Devin comes in. Devin comes in, and then the next year he recruits Pat Mahomes, and Pat Mahomes is not his guy. And Pat Mahomes beats Devin, but he got 4 other guys on the team. Say, hey, you don't play Devin. Hey, man, I paid $3 million for Devin. I don't give a damn about you getting Pat Mahomes. You don't pay Devin. I got 4 other dudes on the squad over here that I got this bread out to.
You need to play somebody that I'm paying.
I'm not saying Dave would do that, but I'm giving you the
slippery slope.
I'm giving you the slippery slope of why there may be some or hesitancy here.
Yeah, Devin throw a pick or two, and Mahomes come in, throw a pick or two, and it's like, wait, you got a guy out there that I'm not paying throwing picks? You out your mind.
Right.
If somebody's going picks, he better be coming from somebody that I pay.
But I think don't you think it'll be stipulations in whatever agreement that the quarterback has with Portnoy? Like, hey man, if you don't win this job, you don't get this $3 million. Like if a dude come in after you and beat you out, you don't win. I think there has to be some sort of stipulations going forward on.
I don't think it's really to freshmen. I don't think it's to freshman quarterbacks. I think it's more to a transfer from a big school you're most likely going to be the starter. I don't think he's thinking. That's why I think he said 1 to 3. Now, if it's some hot shot recruit that could be that dude day one, or like a Nico Iamaleava where, okay, maybe not day one, but next year we're going to hit the ground running. We're going to be a top 10 team because of you. That guy will get it. But it's more going to be the Dylan Gabriel, right? Oh, you play a lot of football. We know you're going to be what you're going to be. You're going to lead the country in a completion percentage. You're going to pick up third downs with your legs and with your arm, lead the country in it. Okay, we'll pay you $3 million to come and hold us over until our young guys are ready. But I don't think it's going to be, hey, here's $3 million to this freshman who might not ever play.
Okay.
Yeah. He ain't Bill Barstools by being goofy. He was obviously an offensive player.
Hey, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Is there a certain high school quarterback that sounds like the situation we're in now, right? Where we need probably if whoever, Orji.
Bryce Underwood?
Yeah, Bryce Underwood.
Oh, you mean Bryce Underwood? Because if it's me, listen. First of all, let's be very clear, crystal clear. If I'm Michigan, I have never given up on Bryce Underwood. You understand?
That would be stupid. That wouldn't be smart.
You understand me?
Right, he lived here, so you can talk to him way more than anybody in Louisiana.
You damn right. I said from the jump that this needs to be a state initiative. General Motors, Chrysler, Ford, some local company needs to be having some sort of campaign, Ford Tough, built in the state of Michigan. That is focused.
So is a game going on, Sam? You looking at the field? Is a game back there? Is somebody kicking off?
Yeah, are we okay?
Is the game kicking off over there?
Uh-oh.
I don't see nobody in the stadium, Sam. I don't see nobody in the stadium, Sam.
Yeah, nobody's in the stadium. I just had to take a pause real quick. Anyway.
Sam, that was like the daddy that's watching the kids and the wife not home. Don't be playing that toilet.
Hey.
What's that sound? What y'all doing?
Yeah.
But don't go check on it for real. Just listen. Stop playing that toilet. Okay, we good. All right, what's up? What'd you say?
Yeah, I don't think it's. Fortunately, the camera didn't catch that. I don't think. Is everything okay in there? Are we sure? Everything is okay? Okay, everything is okay. All right. So I said it needed to be like a state initiative, where there's some kind of campaign that is focused on trying to keep this young man not pay for play, but that is making it very clear that look, we want to do a deal with you wherever you go, because Bryce Underwood. Listen, Bryce Underwood. But you know, you got to massage it. You got to massage it. You got to make it so it seems like it's something else when it really is like what you say is what you said, Devin. But I got to make it seem like it's something else, okay? To appease people. So I'm gonna make it seem like it's something else. All right. So while we making it seem like it's something else, let's come up with this campaign. Like wherever you go, Bryce Underwood is a brand that we want to get behind, that we want to promote. But boy, that brand is so much more marketable for Ford. If we're talking about built Ford tough in the state of Michigan, it just blossoms so much more. You could apply the same thing for Barstool. What about a Barstool reality show? A Barstool reality show about Bryce Underwood. Bryce Underwood and his journey as a quarterback. And he's committed to LSU, but wow, his recruiting journey is having some twists and turns. And who knows where it might go? I mean, this is outstanding content. I mean,
for sure.
A company like Barstool could market this and make millions off of this. And this is a great NIL venture. You would think that maybe it wouldn't.
Well, Sam, why are you using that?
It wouldn't reap dividends
mythical
in the
voice.
here and now, because NIL isn't a thing where you can get capital from, but for down the line, for a young man like that, if you start the reality show now, it's something that he can reap dividends from down the line. You see where I'm going with this? So you start this Barstool reality show that he can't necessarily make money from now, but you start planting the seeds for the show. And then when he becomes a student athlete, especially if he were to become a student athlete at Michigan, not to steer him to Michigan, but if he were to come with him, what kind of, imagine that story. Imagine how big that would be. I'm just saying.
Hey, David, sign me up.
This doesn't this seem like compelling content? Dave Portnoy. I mean, if we just got $3 million, Dave, if you got $3 million, I got ideas, man. I got ideas that can be turned into possibilities that can be turned into promises that can be turned into potential that can be turned into productivity on the field for the University of Michigan. I'm just saying.
The man with the plan.
Hey, that's
hey man.
Right there. Hey, Portnoy, holler at it.
Sam, you're crazy. I'm
convinced. Hey, listen. I'm not saying that any of that is going to happen at all. I do know this. If I'm Michigan, that dude is on the market until he's signed on the dotted line down in Baton Rouge. He is not going to LSU until he's at LSU. Now, I'm not saying that he's wavering. I'm not putting anything out there to suggest otherwise. He has not said that he's looking anywhere else. I'm saying my approach, if I'm the University of Michigan, is I'm recruiting the hell out of that kid until I can't recruit him no more. He's right down the street.
Yeah.
Right down the street.
When was the last time as a hometown kid, the hometown school has a void that needs filling and you can fill it? Like, it seems almost like that's
it's storybook.
Yeah,
it's storybook.
No for you.
Storybook. That's the other thing Barstool. I mean, think about that. I mean, it's you. When is the last time? I think Devin Gardner is Devin Gardner the last one that like the last of the most.
They got offensive linemen and stuff now.
Hey man, you could take this story and spin it into what if he were to try to go on a quest to put together the best offensive recruiting class you've ever seen in 3 months, and you profile it. You got 3 months to do it. A Barstool special.
This is insane that
I'm just saying
world has turned into reality TV show ideas, all kind of craziness.
Hey, the man said he got $3 million to put on it. He said he got $3 million to put on it.
It's all about the content now.
You tell me you got $3 million to put on, and so I got ideas that you can spend $3 million on. I'm just saying.
Sam.
You can build
hey Daniel, let's make sure we keep $3 million away from Sam. Sam got a lot. His brain just going, let's keep the money away from Sam's. Hide the money. Sam gonna spend the church's money on some scheme.
Hey man, Michigan, put it this way: Michigan would be in the players.
Yeah,
Michigan would be in the players. I guarantee.
Hey, is this a real thing? Did you see? Did Brady Hart's family or Brady Hart's or his coach send out a tweet saying? Or was this made up? Was this fake? Was this fake news? Yeah, of course, it seems like you have no idea what I'm talking about, so I'm sure it was. I think it was like on Facebook or something. Dave Portnoy, the best quarterback ever happened, ready day one, gonna be at Michigan. We don't need that or whatever. Something like that.
I've obviously been out of the loop for.
Yeah, I think it might be fake. That thing would have came across your desk. I know it would have. It would have.
Hey man, there's the beautiful thing about it is the cycles, the way the cycles work. That dude is gonna be a 3-year guy. Both all are welcome. It could work for both of y'all. Look at Arch Manning and Quinn Ewers. It could work. It could work. Hey, all y'all can get 3. Hey, Dave, if you look at him on YouTube, he got $3 million for both of y'all. I'm spending out the man's pocket now.
I said keep the money away from Sam.
hey, just from a football perspective, right? Nussmeier's gonna be the starter again next year, right?
All right. Listen, we gotta wrap this. So we gotta wrap real quick before we do, because I want to get Devin's take and your take, Daniel, on the top guns in the NFL. I want to let you guys know. Ground transportation needs. There is no better service than the one that is offered by our friends at Golden Limo. GoldenLimo.com. Went to the game and you watch how Michigan football rolls up. They ride in those luxury coaches from Golden Limo. When you watch the folks from Michigan Medicine, you watch them all over campus. What you see rolling around, whether it's executives, doctors, your professors, when they big groups have to roll around, those sprinters that are rolling around campus, Golden Limo. Airport transport and SUVs. When I had to go to the game, Golden Limo. When I had to get picked up after the USC game, waiting for me outside the tunnel, Golden Limo. 15 minutes early. Get you there on time every time. That's how they do it. Golden Limo. And right now, when you book using the Golden Ticket, a portion of your transportation fee goes not only to Michigan NIL, it also is going to go to a great veterans charity called Freedom River. And everyone who books using the Golden Ticket, you're going to have a chance to be invited to an exclusive party that's going to feature a couple of their great partnerships. They are brand ambassador Zeke Berry is going to be at that party. Your favorite dude on the squad, DG Samaj Morgan, going to be at the party as well. And if you book on Gold Limo using the Golden Ticket, Ben, if you have that track ready, can you drop the short track? Drop that track, please.
If you have ground transportation needs, get to your destination on time, every time with Golden Limo. Ride like the Wolverines. Feel like a Wolverine when you ride with Golden Limo, the proud transportation partner for many of Michigan's sports teams and the primary transportation provider for Michigan Wolverines football. All you have to do to book your Golden Ticket reservation is go to goldenlimo.com/golden ticket or call their team at 734-668-8282 and mention Golden Ticket to book your transportation reservations today.
All right, fellas, we got to make this Top Gun ranking segment fairly short. We're only talking top 10 QBs, and I'm taking this very personally because one guy who I had seen outside the top 10 to me now should be a unanimous top 10 quarterback. Unanimous, based on his resume and some of the performances that I've seen from dudes that they've been having in the top 10. But number one on this list is obvious, right? Is there any dispute who number one on the list is?
Nope,
Not at all.
Patrick Mahomes, we all agree?
Yes, sir. That's
all right. So who will we go with number two on the list? Who you guys have number two on the NFL's top guns list?
I got Lamar.
Yep, I got Lamar Jackson second.
Lamar at 2. I got Lamar at 2.
I'm with it. I'm with that. I'm with Lamar Jackson as number 2 on the list as well. All right. So number 3 tends to be a little bit of a disconnect. See, I'm a big Joe Burrow guy. You got other folks that really like Josh Allen in that spot. I'm curious where you guys do you guys like either of those guys in that spot?
I got Jared Goff.
You got Jared Goff number 3 in the National Football League?
I got Jared Goff as we sit currently right now today.
Wow.
Jared Goff, when you look at the stats of who Jared Goff is and who Joe Burrow is, they're the exact same quarterback. Went to Super Bowl, lost, right? Played well all throughout, obviously, to start the year, the Rams were inept and they didn't have a coach and all those different things, but they're the same quarterback the last few years. So it's just weird that Joe Burrow gets put up on this high pedestal as if he's just like so much better than Jared Goff. But I've never seen a quarterback throw a perfect game, and I just watched Jared Goff throw a perfect game.
He went to the Super Bowl and he's beat Pat Mahomes.
And yes, okay, good.
He gets a lot of credit for he
beat Pat Mahomes 4 years ago, and since they talked about that, he hasn't. He can't. Since that time, he ain't got nothing. Nothing. Okay, so if beating Patrick Mahomes is a championship, I get it. But it's not. Okay? Beating Patrick Mahomes is not a championship. And I got Jared Goff, a guy who, he didn't beat him in the playoffs, but he beat him in a game, right? He beat him recently. I got Jared Goff. He threw a perfect game this past weekend. I'm not ignoring that. Right? First of all, he always plays well. Right? Maybe you don't love how he goes about it. Don't love that he don't move a whole bunch, even though he has started to move some. Some of the plays he made on Monday Night Football, spinning, pirouette, find a guy, with his back turn, all these different things. Jared Goff, I can't keep ignoring what he's able to do. Not to mention, we all had Matthew Stafford so high up, right? Way up there as far as best quarterbacks in the NFL, and he wasn't winning nothing, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody was saying, well, it's not him. It's the Lions. It's the culture. It's the losing, whatever, the front office. Well, Jared Goff took that same team and has made them a real contender. So Jared Goff is third right now for me. I got Josh Allen fourth. Josh Allen, I can't, especially since he's not turning over as much. Josh Allen, a dog, man.
Man, over Joe Burrow?
Yes, absolutely.
Why? What has Josh Allen done over Joe Burrow?
Well, I think he's just a better player. Right, his running ability puts him over the top. He's Lamar Jackson, except without all the wins. Right, he still wins, but Lamar Jackson's winning percentage is insane. Right, he just wins a lot of football games. And Josh Allen wins a lot of football games, but his ability to run and throw, and the fact that he hasn't turned the ball over much this season, I mean, you just can't ignore that.
See, Joe Burrow obviously can't run like Josh Allen, but he can't. He has the ability. He has some escapability.
His offensive line is worse too,
and his offensive line is terrible. Line
and that's the excuse we keep giving him. But we're paying you, so get it figured out.
He had 7 touchdowns and 1 interception with that horrible offensive line, even with them struggling, compared to Josh Allen's 7-0. So as far as passing and throwing the ball, it ain't that much difference.
Okay, so there's no difference. I love that you said that. There's no difference in passing the ball, except for one interception, of course. There's no difference. But what about rushing the ball? Is it a huge difference?
Yeah, it's a big difference in legs.
Huge difference, right? So if you got like basically we're gonna give them a push on passing, then Allen's running ability puts them ahead of them.
Yeah. I can see that. That's a good argument.
I can't really say
and so if you're going to value that stat, then how do you have Jared Goff above both of those guys? See, I'm a big Jared Goff guy too. I can't put him above either of those guys.
Would you put Jared Goff ahead of Dak Prescott?
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Jared Goff has done way more with less. Like, he is a big part of why the Lions are who they are. Everybody's saying all this other stuff. The quarterback is the most important, and he is the consistent. Like, he's the thing that's been consistent. He just pitched a perfect game. Now, could this list look different next week? Maybe. But right now, as I sit and breathe, I just watched him in a game where he had to throw the ball, not let the ball hit the ground. I'm not ignoring it.
You agree with Jared Goff being that high, Daniel?
No. I got him in the top 5 to 6, but I don't have
NFC Championship game a year ago.
Where was
Joe Burrow? Where was Joe Burrow?
Getting his
head. You can't just keep blaming everybody else. You can't keep blaming, his offensive line hit it, because Jared Goff did that without his center, by the way, and his left guard.
And his
did y'all calculate that?
Hey, his backups, the Lions' backup offensive line is better than the Bengals starting off. That's how bad they lied.
Hey, real quick, Sam, since y'all Lions guys, are y'all worried about what we've seen out of Sam Darnold and the Vikings?
Man, I got to see them play something. No, not yet. A lot of people making something out of them beating the Packers and Jordan Love. It was Jordan Love's first game back.
Hey, guys, Can I give you a stat real quick?
Yeah.
We talk about the offensive line and how bad it is. Well, Jared Goff has been sacked 7 times. Joe Burrow has been sacked 8.
Yeah, but Jared Goff can't run.
I'm just telling you right now that the sack numbers are the same. I'm gonna need Joe Burrow to produce. Period.
Joe Burrow's line is so.
Everybody keeps thinking about the Super Bowl line. That's not the same line. They are better than they were. They are not terrible. I'm telling you right now. Everybody just can't get out of their mind of the Super Bowl when he was running for his life and all that run. Since then, they've improved that offensive line, and that offensive line is significantly better.
Okay, so let's do this. We agreed Mahomes number 1, Lamar number 2, Josh Allen number 3.
Okay.
I could give you Josh Allen above Jared Goff.
Give you Josh Allen number 3. What about you, Daniel? Joe Burrow or Jared Goff?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Now can we do Jared Goff number 5?
Yeah.
Jared Goff number 5.
I don't like it.
Jared Goff number 5.
I'm outvoted, but I don't like it.
It's for number 5 between Goff and Dak Prescott for me.
Man, what has Dak? This dude has been to a Super Bowl, NFC Championship game. Dak Prescott gonna give you regular season. Postseason, he gives you nothing.
But the Lions postseason when they play well as a team, like it's not just the quarterback.
No. The one reason they didn't go to the Super Bowl is Jared Goff did his job and the team didn't pick up the slack.
Well, wasn't that the game?
Yeah, the Super Bowl team would have did their part.
Yeah, Jared Goff. They try to put Matthew Stafford over Jared Goff. Like, come on, stop it. No,
he won the Super Bowl.
He's done more with the Lions. Since he got here, he's elevated this team more than Matthew Stafford ever did.
He's done more with the Lions. Obviously they had that one Super Bowl where they had an all-star team. And if one guy makes one interception, he don't make it to the Super Bowl. He turned into pumpkin. Matthew Stafford did what he usually does. If that don't happen, they don't even make it to the Super Bowl. But Jared Goff has been a better quarterback.
All right.
Even with the Lions.
Let's round out the last
so are we doing this as a legacy thing, or are we doing this season?
Right now, yeah.
We're incorporating this season and what they've done too. That's why it's hard. It's a little hard to
So how far back what they've done last year, the year before? How many years back?
Aaron Rodgers hasn't been mentioned yet. If we talking about total career,
that's what I'm saying.
Because see, Aaron Rodgers, you can't put as much as you want to include his career. How much of what he was is he still?
You're
right. That's where I am with him. I don't know that you can still put him up there because I don't know how much of that he still has left.
Exactly, that's true.
And
then on the opposite end of the spectrum, what do you do with the rookies? Jaden Daniels, guys like CJ Stroud. Where are they in the conversation?
CJ Stroud, I put up it because we got a whole season of CJ Stroud to say that he deserves to be in the top 10, in my opinion.
Okay.
But you know who I gotta push out? Trevor Lawrence. See, they had Trevor Lawrence ahead.
Trevor Lawrence is not in the top 20.
They had Trevor Lawrence ahead of Jared Goff. And I remember asking why. What has he done? And now look at him. Look at him struggling. They can't bust a grape down there in Jacksonville.
Listen.
Where do you have Geno?
That's what I'm saying. Geno balling. Don't think about the past. Think about Geno right now.
The last couple years,
the reason they lost that game was not because of Geno.
So we got Jared Goff, number 5. Who we throwing in number 6? Aaron Rodgers?
No.
I think he's like the LeBron and he's out of this conversation.
As much as I hate to say this, Baker Mayfield has been playing much better, really good football. Hate to say it. Sam Darnold.
Dak been balling too. His team been letting him down.
And maybe people say it's too early, but we
over
watched Jared Goff pitch.
I would take Matthew Stafford over Baker Mayfield.
Nah. People gonna say it's too early. We just watched Matthew Stafford pitch a perfect game. We watched the week prior this Daniels kid.
Jane Daniels been balling. See, you got with Matthew Stafford. You got to remember Matthew Stafford without weapons. Puka Nacua is out. His tackle is out.
Don't remind me. I have Puka in my fantasy league.
Yeah, so I got Matthew Stafford over. I'll put Matthew Stafford. Who you got, him or Dak? 6 or
always an excuse for Matthew
Stafford. We got to get these last few in.
Man, I don't know how y'all leaving Dak out. Dak is really like at 6 or 7, man. Y'all wilding.
So we putting Dak at 6?
Yeah.
I'll take Dak before Matthew Stafford. I ain't gonna lie.
Dak at 6. Who we got at 7? Matthew Stafford or CJ Stroud?
CJ Stroud.
As far as right now, we doing just right now.
Just right now.
How do we leave Sam Darnold out? He got 11 touchdown passes.
That's
already.
what I'm saying. Sam Darnold, but Sam just he looking at Sam Darnold of old. He looking at the past. He can't live in it right now and see that he's killing everybody. But
you've been torturing folks, Sam.
The fact that y'all keep trying to put Joe Burrow over Jared Goff, I just can't get it. Especially if we're talking about this year. Or I'm including. We can go the last 3 years. We can go the last 3 years.
Man, we gotta go. I'm including this year. So we got 6 Dak. We got 7. Was it Stafford? Was 7 Stafford?
Stafford that high.
Or 7 CJ Stroud.
I'll take that. We can do that. Let's do that.
8 Stafford. 9. Are we doing Aaron Rodgers?
No, not this year.
So who we doing at 9? We got 9 and 10.
Jaden Daniels.
Already? It just 4 or 5 games?
Yep. He playing high level football.
Yeah.
Better than really anybody in the NFL at this point. Like there's nobody playing much better.
What about Geno?
I'll take Geno at 10.
See, if he playing the Lions, I got to see him play something else.
We keep talking about this offensive line stuff.
Like Pat Mahomes against the Lions.
Hold on. We keep talking about this Burrow offensive line stuff. You understand Jaden Daniels plays for the Washington Commanders. You know that.
What about Jalen Hurts?
Nah, Jalen Hurts
not
playing
this year. Yeah, I keep forgetting it's just this year, not total career. Not.
Are we going to address that, Sam? Jaden Daniels plays for the Commanders.
Give me one more. I give you Jaden Daniels. Are we doing Brock Purdy? Are we throwing him in there? Or Justin Herbert? Or Justin Herbert?
Geno Smith.
I would throw Brock Purdy in there before Herbert.
Geno Smith
at number 10 in the National Football League.
Yes. Have you been watching him play?
I watched him play against the Lions. He looked like Pat Mahomes every time he played the Lions.
That's not true.
That is true.
Oh, you mean he looked good?
Every time he played the Lions, looked like Pat Mahomes.
He lead the league in passing.
And his team, 3-1?
He lead the league in passing.
Geno Smith, number 10.
Jaden Daniels.
That's number 10. That's number 10. We got to go. That'll do it for Steady Dropping Dimes. My wife about to divorce me. Got to go. That'll do it for Steady Dropping Dimes. We appreciate you guys as always. We will see you next time on the next edition of Steady Dropping Dimes.
Yes, sir.